All right, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to the SKYHUBLINK Monday Night System-Wide Net. This is Jack, KE0VH in Wheat Ridge, Colorado. We have this net here every Monday night to discuss amateur radio topics and news of what's going on SkyHublink. I want to welcome those of you who are watching on the YouTube channel. If you would, make sure that you hit that like button for me. If you're watching, I would appreciate that, and we'll get you guys checked in tonight. Also via radio. I will let you go ahead and check in, but I will be coming to you to speak on the radio. Of course, you can't speak over the YouTube channel, but would like to get to hear from everybody tonight and get everybody involved here with the SkyHublink Monday Night Net. Once again, coming to you live and direct from Wheat Ridge, Colorado. We are on NetLogger tonight, so you could get on there and see where you are in the check-in list. We do this every Monday night here to have fun on the radio with our communications and to help make use of the many fine repeaters that otherwise might be very underutilized and quiet. We need to really get the activity going with amateur radio when we can and use it so that we don't lose it. And when you talk on one of the repeaters on the SkyHublink system, that actually activates a ton of other repeaters and allows you to be heard literally all over the world these days. SkyHublink is not a closed system in any way. We welcome all users in the true spirit of amateur radio. Any amateur, old, young, new, whatever the case may be, this is the place for you. Let me reset as we do with the repeaters here to give them a second to rest, and then we'll go ahead and continue with the net preamble here. Okay, let me do that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so once again, please remember during all use of this multi-mode, multi-repeater linking system, we ask that you allow 3 to 5 seconds between transmissions, 1.5 seconds for key up, and then begin speaking. Also, remember to keep that PTT pushed a half second or so after your last word. This allows your last word not to get cut off as the repeaters cycle and through the internet connections. Let's see. It's very important as well that if more than 2 people are using the system to set up a roundtable discussion. That way you won't be doubling over other people's other parties in a roundtable discussion. Very important to remember that you're on many repeaters simultaneously while you're transmitting on SkyHublink. It's very important to remember, too, to allow all who might want to join in an opportunity. So leave space between your transmissions, just like using a regular standalone repeater. Long rag chews are welcome on SkyHublink. We really do invite that. Get together with your friends and talk. But remember, you're on many repeaters simultaneously. Most of the repeaters also do have a 3-minute timeout timer. So something that's very important to remember while you're on SkyHublink. Don't forget, too, to break every so often and see if somebody else needs to use one of the other repeaters on the system, or maybe just join in your conversation. This is KE0VH. Let me take a reset here. And for those of you watching on YouTube, if you would, please go ahead and hit that like button for me. It's very important. And subscribe to the channel if you wouldn't mind. I would appreciate that. You can also check out SkyHublink.com and click on the status tab to see all the All-Star and main hub links and activity. You can go to the click here for the YSF reflector status. It will open in a new tab for you, and that way you can see others that may be joining in via the digital modes. We're on Ham Shack Hotline, the voice over IP system, Wires XD Star, and the other modes. And we'd like to remind you that if you're using a hotspot on SkyHublink, make sure that you do not change your YSF reflectors and not use your Wires X pass-through on your hotspot while you're talking on SkyHublink. Do use your network, your internet connection through your Pi-Star software so that it doesn't cause problems with the system. Also, remember, we ask that you do not kerchunk a system or a repeater. To test to see if you're keying it up, do come on and ask for a radio check. It's very important that you do that. Most of the time you'll get an answer from someone, and if you hear anyone ask for that radio check, no one responds fairly quickly, then you come on and advise the calling station that they're making the system and can be heard, or give a proper signal report, whatever the case may be. Let me reset once again. This is KE0VH, and we're also live on our YouTube channel, on my YouTube channel, Captain Jack Flight Sim, FLTSIM on YouTube. So let me reset. This is KE0VH. All right, yeah. Clear my throat while we're on the air here, and there you go. Okay, let me say hello to John. Also, I see coming up on the YouTube chat, W7JPJ. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see. You can also utilize the SkyHubLink.com status page to see if your radio is getting into the system. It's a very useful diagnostic tool for your radios to be able to see if you're making it onto the system as well, just simply by seeing that you're keying up the green indicator from the repeater that you may be on. So with tonight's net, I do ask that if you want to talk, you need to check in by radio. This is a radio net, after all. We do, once again, simulcast it on my YouTube channel on the nights that I am here, and would love to hear your thoughts on the topic tonight. Tonight's topic is going to be kind of twofold. Why do you feel it's important to vote? You know, the general election is here in 2 weeks, and we won't get into politics, but why do you feel that it's important to vote, that we do our civic duty, that sort of thing? I feel very, very patriotic and very strong that no matter who we're going to vote for, we're not going to talk who, we're not going to talk what, we're not going to talk any of that kind of stuff. But I want to know why you feel that it's important for you to vote. What does it mean to you? And also, too, I'd like to know who your original amateur radio mentor was. Who got you started in amateur radio? We did do this subject a couple of years ago, I think, but I thought it would be fun to revisit it again. So who got you started in amateur radio? I really would like to know some of your history. And my history with that, let me reset once more, and we'll go do that. I want to thank you guys for watching on YouTube tonight. It looks as though there might be some sort of little issue there. I'm not sure. Interesting. All right. Something happened with that. Okay, guys. Not sure what's going on with the YouTube stream all of a sudden. It says my streaming status is very poor. That is very unusual because that is not usually a problem for me. So we'll see what's going on here momentarily. All right, let's go ahead and to give you some SkyHubLink news. We did try to set up a voter system for the Buckhorn Mountain repeater the other day. Not sure really what happened. Maybe we'll get a report from Skylar here. I may reset this here in just a moment. We'll give that a shot. Let's see. I'm going to do two different things here. We'll see if that will come back up now. Anyway, and John and Skylar worked on that, and yeah, it looks like that's back. And they did a really great job. We had a problem, I think, with one of the GPS receivers up there, so the synchronization of the two audio signals from the two different receivers, one on Milner Mountain so that there's a better look along Loveland, Longmont, Fort Collins up against the foothills, and then the Buckhorn Mountain receiver, of course, for further out. So they got that going. Let's see, some other news. The Parker repeater is on the air. For those of you who might not have heard, we do have our Parker Wires X repeater on the air. And we've got the new Scotts Bluff repeater, Wires X repeater, actually on and operating, but it's not on the air. And what I mean by that, it's not connected to an antenna on the tower. Our good friend Rick Brown, W0SSB, and one of our friends from Galvanized Endeavors, the tower company, is going to be doing a tower climb here soon and get that antenna fixed. So we'll see how that goes. But once again, tonight's net question: how do you feel about voting? Why is it important to you? And who was your original mentor regarding amateur radio? And I'll be telling you more about mine here in just a moment. Had a little technical problem there, but it looks like we've got it ironed out. So with that, let's go ahead and take a round of check-ins. If you are a repeater owner or system operator, let's get you checked in tonight first on the SkyHubLink Monday Night System-Wide Net. Welcome to the net. This is K0VH. Okay, we'll see if we get a repeater owner or system operator there. All right, so one more time, we're looking for repeater owners, system operators that would like to check into the net. Please call now. This is K0VH. And those of you watching on YouTube, Jacob Chambers, hey, Jacob, welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad to have you in here for the ham radio net. Okay, nobody's checking in that way. We'll go ahead and see if we can get some check-ins via digital. If you are digital tonight and would like to check into the net, please call now with your call sign phonetically twice, only your call sign phonetically twice, and let's get you checked into the net tonight. Please call now. This is K0VH. I want to thank you guys for joining in on YouTube tonight. Ham Radio Net, not a flight stream, but...
9 Oscar Mike Yankee, Kilo America 9 Oscar Mike Yankee.
All right, there's our first check-in of the night. That's Steve up in Wisconsin.
All right, I doubled with that Mike Yankee station. My apologies. In November Charlie 2, Whiskey X-Ray. November Charlie 2, Whiskey X-Ray.
There's Gary from down in Pueblo.
Whiskey Echo 8 Mike. Whiskey Echo 8 Mike.
Okay, Whiskey Echo 8 Mike. I don't know him right off, but we'll find out who that is momentarily. All right, thought I'd hold up there for just a moment and see who else checked in by radio. KA9OMY, NC2WX. Gary, good evening. Whiskey 8 Echo Mike, hello. Welcome to the SkyHublink Monday Night System-Wide Net. K0VH here. Glad to have you guys on board with us here. We're also live streaming the net tonight on my YouTube channel at Captain Jack FLTSIM, CAPNJACK FLTSIM. If you'd like to check that out on YouTube. But good evening, Stephen, up in Wisconsin. How you doing, man? So why is it important to you to get out and vote? And who was your original Elmer, your original mentor that got you into amateur radio? So, Stephen, we'll go with you first. Good evening and welcome to the net from K0VH.
My wife. And we're at home now in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. We were on vacation running around the country and that stuff there. For voting, I feel it's important that at least you have something to say into what's going on with the government and stuff like that. You know, like you're only just one little person, that stuff there, but at least you feel like you've got something to say about it and that stuff there. I know my father-in-law always said, if you didn't vote, keep your mouth shut. If you didn't like the way things were going, because you didn't vote, you don't have a say in it anymore. So, I feel it's very important to have stuff there, to at least have a say in what is going on. Getting into amateur radio, I basically self-taught myself and that stuff there. And then because of the Morse code and that stuff there, I did have he was a priest, and I can't think of his call. He had a couple of tapes for me and that stuff there. And then another ham that gave me the test, and his license is lapsed. And I'm really sad to see that. He's let it go about 8-9 years, but I basically self-taught myself most of the stuff, do a background in electronics, so that part came in real easy and that stuff there. I did the teaching to myself that when I was recovering from some surgery, just laying around, so it made the time go a lot faster there. Back to net control. This is K9OMY.
Stephen, most excellent, most excellent. Yeah, good words there. And it's going to be interesting to hear everybody's history. I started really getting into amateur radio with CB radio way back in the mid-'70s, part of the CB craze, of course, as I mentioned before here on the net. And had a good friend of mine by the name of Alan, who originally was WA4QCH, and then later he changed his call sign to another call. Have lost touch with Alan over the years, unfortunately, but he got me started in amateur radio, and I took my original novice test in Ringgold, Georgia, just outside of Chattanooga, where I was born and raised. But Alan got me started. It's going to be neat to hear about everybody's history here. Speaking of which, let's go over to Gary, NC2WX. Gary, welcome to the net, KE0VH here. Gary, tell us about why it's important to you that we get out and vote this season, and also who your stepping stone into amateur radio occurred through. NC2WX from KE0VH. Good evening, Gary.
Well, good evening, Jack, and everyone here on the net. Happy Monday evening to all. NC2WX, Gary here. We are privileged in this country to be able to vote, and I actually consider it a civic duty to get out and vote, and have done so since about age, 20, I guess it was, when I fell into the voting season there. At any rate, and this year is more important than ever that we all vote. Let's see. Introduction to ham radio. Well, I had actually he was my dad's good friend. He also attended our church. His name was Bernard, or Bernie, as we knew him. He had a great HF station. I believe he also had VHF, although it saw little use there in the rural areas of eastern Nebraska. But I thought his radio desk was the most beautiful thing ever. Through my little boy's eyes. That was at about age 8. And then, like you, Jack, I was into CB there initially, channel 9, 11 meters. I acted as a base station relay for the dads who were out mobile during severe storms. As they watched for tornadoes, I took their weak or noisy signals and relayed it from our base station so that the other mobiles could hear it. So anyway, first comms experience was actually on 11 meters, but Bernie had just a wonderful HF station in his home there. All right, that's all I have. Jack, back to you. Thanks for hosting the net tonight. KE0VH from NC2WX.
All right, Gary, very good, very good. Well, glad you're here tonight. Good words there, and like I said, I think it's going to be a lot of fun to hear about everybody's history and how they got started and who carried them on through some amateur radio there as they get started. This is the SKYHUBLINK Monday Night System-Wide Net. Jack, KE0VH here. We're live streaming the net tonight once again on my YouTube channel, and we'll be glad to hear from some guys there. Dave, AF0AS, Tom, W7KY, and John, W7JPJ. I will put you guys on the net logger list. Also want to say hello to my good friend, Your Sim CFI from YouTube here, who is a real world pilot, and so glad you stopped by, man. We got to talk to you about getting your ham radio license there, CFI. But welcome. Glad you dropped into the net tonight here via YouTube. All right, let's go to W8 Echo, or W Echo 8 Mike, WE8M Dave in Cincinnati, Ohio. Dave, good evening. Welcome to the net. Why do you feel it's important that we vote this season? And who was your mentor and get you started in amateur radio? Dave, good evening. Welcome from KE0VH. All right, we'll hear from Dave in Cincinnati, Ohio.
KE0VH on the net. This is WE8M. Well, I generally do not discuss politics over the air, other than I believe it's important for us all to vote, everyone that's eligible. I also feel it's a civic duty. In fact, I've already voted. Who got me started in amateur radio? Well, that would have to be my dad. Back in the 70s, he got an amateur radio license, rapidly progressed from novice up until general and extra. And, well, I was in high school at the time, and more interested in different things. But by the time I got into college and was studying computer science, I went along with my dad to my very first ham fest, Dayton Hamvention. I haven't looked back since. In fact, now, since my dad became a silent key a few years ago, I now hold his call, which is giving up my old call, which I held for 35 years, NU8H. So now I'm keeping my dad's call alive. So this is WE8M. Back to net.
Oh man, Dave, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. You know, as a matter of fact, reminds me of a story I heard just the other day. My good friend Rich, W9BNO, he is about to celebrate here pretty quick the 100th anniversary. The 100th anniversary of his call sign, W9BNO. Not him himself, but his call sign belonged to his grandfather. And we'll look forward to maybe getting to hear from Rich about something about that here in the next few weeks on the net. But I'm super excited for him because he is going to do a special event station and everything. He took his grandfather's call, which is really very cool after his grandfather became a silent key, and is about to celebrate the 100th anniversary of W9BNO. So a great story there, Dave. Good stuff. Yeah, and you know, we don't want to talk politics. Talking politics, I don't really feel has any place in our amateur radio airwaves because it tends to be divisive, and you know, we don't want that. We want to come across as welcoming and friendly and glad to have others have their own opinions and live their life and do what they need to do and how they need to do it. And you know, but I think discussing why it's important to us to be able to vote, to have the privilege, and that sort of thing is something that's of very vital importance. So I appreciate your words there. This is the SkyHublink Monday Night System-Wide Net, Jack K0VH in Wheat Ridge, Colorado, and we are on the on my YouTube channel. Captain Jack FLT SIM, not Captain, but Captain CAPN JACT JACK. I'm a professional pronunciator. Don't try this at home. FLT SIM on YouTube. We are simulcasting the net there. Speaking of which, I want to see if we can pick up some of the guys who are coming in via the net. I want to go ahead and get them logged in. The first will be Dave, AF0 Alpha Sierra. Dave, good evening. Are you there to say hello to us on the radio? Welcome to the SkyHublink Monday Night System-Wide Net. This is K0VH.
Hello, Jack. Yes, I'm here. Back in town from a quick trip down to the Starbase to watch a very large rocket get caught in midair by a couple of chopsticks. And hopefully everybody's having a great time. So thanks to everybody for that.
Dave, super to hear you, man. I want to get in touch with you here soon. I was on vacation all last week, and my wife and I did a bunch of stuff together. Went to Rocky Mountain National Park, took our little miniature dachshunds, and that was that was a lot of fun getting to go up there with them. And let's see, I guess maybe you'll update a full report on that tomorrow night with Burness on the Colorado Astronomy Net. So, Dave, thanks so much for being here, for checking in on the YouTube channel. I appreciate that. Let's talk to Tom, WY7KY. Tom's up there. He says he's on the Pilot Hill repeater. So, Tom, we'll go ahead and hear from you tonight. WY7KY, K0VH. Dave, good evening. Welcome to the net. Your comments.
Okay, very good, Jack. Good to hear everybody from WY7KY, Tom here in Cheyenne. And, yeah, just hoping that everybody's doing okay. Very important to vote. I think I've voted just about every year that I've ever been eligible to vote. And I just think it's something that we need to do to get your opinion out there. My Elmer, well, I I believe it was one of the gentlemen in church, and he was in the choir with me and Dad. He said, "Hey, we ought to join this amateur radio thing. Tom's into radio, so I was doing CB for a long time back in Kentucky. But anyway, yeah, dissertation short, that's kind of what got me into it. We went to the club meetings over there in Kentucky and built our first Heat Getting Hot Water 101 radio, and the rest is history. But I've been in it ever since 1976 as a novice. So anyway, Jack, good to hear you. Been a while, and good to hear everybody on the net. KE0VH from WY7KY.
All right, Tom, WY7KY, K0VH. Yeah, wonderful, man. And glad to have you up there in Cheyenne using the Pilot Hill repeater. We're having some problems with our Wires X repeater there. I have not been able to get hold of Daryl to try to reboot it and get it back on the air proper, but we'll get that fixed up there soon, and we're hoping to move that, as a matter of fact. So I might need to talk to you a little bit about that. But Tom, thanks for being here. I got your and John's call and locations, I think, messed up there a little bit. W7JPJ saw you check in on the YouTube chat window there. Let's see. Connor Donnelly is in there, says, hello, Jack and everyone. First time checking into Annette. Did I miss my chance to call in? KF0JJO in Denver. No, I'll get you on the list here, Connor, and hopefully we'll get to hear you by radio. But anyway, John, W7JPJ, it's your turn, sir. Welcome to the net. Your comments and what have you got for us tonight from K0VH? Okay, one more time for John, W7JPJ. Are you there, sir? Welcome to the net. This is K0VH. All right there. Well, let's go ahead and try to get Connor in from the YouTube chat there. KF0JJO, are you here by radio tonight? Connor, good evening. Welcome to the net. Your comments.
Hey, good evening, Jack. Thanks. Kilo Foxtrot 0, Juliet Oscar.
Okay, yeah, Connor, you're not holding your repeater there. You're not holding your repeater. You want to try it again?
Hey, thank you. This is Connor calling back in. Trying to reach the repeater here down in Denver, 1600 Broadway. Maybe try another antenna if this isn't reaching.
Okay, Connor, that was solid copy that time. That was solid copy that time. Go ahead with your comments. Why do you feel it's important that we vote? And who was your mentor? Who got you originally interested in starting in amateur radio? Connor, KF0JJO from K0VH. Go ahead.
Hey, yeah, KF0JJO here. I think it's important to vote for a lot of the same reasons others have mentioned, but it's our one chance to make our voice heard and contribute to the decisions that are being made around us. So voting is important to me as well. As far as who got me into radio, I would have to say I've never met another licensed amateur. Pretty new myself, but I have to think back to my grandmother in the 80s was listening to the police scanner all the time when I was a kid, and I would watch her writing her notes down on the different frequencies in the Twin Cities where I grew up. And so I enjoy listening to radio since I was a kid, and now I'm enjoying participating. So thanks for having me in the net.
Connor, that's really awesome. That's really awesome. You know, I had I have very fond memories. Really enjoyed listening to the police scanner when you could actually hear things on the scanner. And unfortunately, these days, you know, those days are long past. But man, that was fun. That was fun. I remember some warm summer Saturday nights listening. For police calls from the Wheat Ridge Police Department here where I live. And man, I miss those days. It was very pleasant. This is the SkyHublink Monday Night System-Wide Net. This is Jack, K0VH. Back here on a Monday night. We are simulcasting the net tonight once again on my YouTube channel, CAPNJACKFLTSIM. And our good buddy Bernice, KI0AR, checks in the chat window there. So Bernice, we'll go ahead and take you there, and then we'll take some more radio check-ins. KI0AR, of course, our net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net, heard here on SkyHublink on Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock Mountain Time. Bernice, good evening. Welcome to the net. What's going on with you? Why do you feel it's important to you to vote? And who is your mentor that got you started in amateur radio? Bernice, go ahead. KI0AR from K0VH.
Oh, good evening, Jack in the net. This is KI0AR. Voting, a privilege, a right, and a responsibility are the three words that come to mind as far as I'm concerned. And so get out there and do it. Don't matter who you vote for, just do it. And like everybody else says, it's definitely a chance for yourself to be heard. Got started in amateur radio. My father and I took a ham radio class back when I was 12, 1970. And the fellows that taught it, one of them was, I remember his call sign, WA0OPW. I remember that only because he used only Papa Works. And his name, which was unusual, Wilmer Rogers. So, instead of Will Rogers, but well, not related to the other Will Rogers, but I thought that's one reason it stuck for 50 years. But that's something my father and I got to do together. And there was another fellow named Buck. I can't remember his call sign, but that was about the same time that got us interested in amateur radio. And then let it lapse for a few years, more like a few decades, and it got back into it in '95. So was encouraged by Jim N0COT to get back into amateur radio, and that's when I got all those tests taken. So back then. So back to you, Jack. This is KI0AR.
Okay, Bernice, very good, very good. We'll look forward to hearing from you, of course, on the Colorado Astronomy Net tomorrow night at 7 o'clock here on the SkyHublink. Yeah, it's a very, very important privilege. It's a very important right and a responsibility. I feel deeply about that. I've already voted. I've taken my mail ballot and dropped it off at the secure drop box here in Wheat Ridge. So got that done. And indeed, guys, once again, if you're not registered, you still have time. I want to take just a moment and say hello to some friends in the YouTube chat. My good buddy Flyby Mo. Guys, these are all flight sim enthusiasts who have YouTube channels. My very, very good friend CST Gaming, CST Mello, is in the chat room. So CST, I appreciate you tonight. Thanks for checking out my ham radio stream here. Camo Mojo Transportation says, learned about ham radio from a local deputy who had a repeater with a phone patch before cell phones, and to me as a kid, that was neat. I got to agree with you, Camo. I really, really do. Phone patching over repeaters back in the day before we had cell phones was really a vital thing even, and very exciting to be able to do. And you think you can talk to somebody by telephone over the radio with your ham radio microphone there. It's pretty cool. My good buddy Aviation Geek is in the chat tonight on the YouTube channel. And I appreciate him out in Nashville. I got to get together with you, man, because I'm coming to Nashville on December the 4th, and I'm going to have my own rental car. And we'll be able to maybe meet and say hello or have dinner or something. So Aviation Geek, thanks for being here. This is the SkyHUBLINK Monday Night System-Wide Net. We are simulcasting the net tonight on my YouTube channel. And let's go ahead and get another round of check-ins. Let's take anybody on analog at this time, anybody on an analog repeater. Those of you on YouTube, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button, I sure would appreciate it. That thumbs up button would be great. So with that, let's go ahead and take another round of check-ins now. If you're on analog, please call now. This is KE0VH. All right. And, okay, Jason, ACG.
Delta Yankee, VK2Y.
Romeo X-ray, Whiskey 0, Whiskey Romeo X-ray. Good evening. I'm going to just check in and out real quick. I'm going to be in radio range of the repeater here in about 5 minutes, so have yourself a good evening, sir. Good hearing on the net, 73.
Okay, I did not have...
Whiskey Romeo X-ray.
KC0, Whiskey Romeo
Zero
X-ray.
REK, Kilo Golf 0, Romeo Echo Kilo.
Okay, got that. KG0REK. All right, that's in there.
Delta Yankee, VK2Y.
And there's Robert one more time. I wonder why the YouTube channel. Bernie says headed out to view the comet, but we'll be monitoring the...
KD2YLE. Hello, KD2YLE. From New York. My name is Joe, just listening in and out. Hello, KD2YLE.
YLE. All right, we'll get that one in there. I'll get the information filled in on those in just a few minutes. Okay, let me stop there and tell you who I heard. And Burnus, copy that you're headed out to view the comet, but we'll be monitoring the net on your HD. Yeah, I got to try to see that comet, too. That's something I really need to do. VK2DY got Robert down under in Australia. Kilo Charlie 0 Whiskey Romeo X-ray got you. Kilo Golf 0 Romeo Echo Kilo. And Kilo Delta 2 Yankee Lima Echo, I believe you said you were in and out. I'll try to make a notation of that in just a moment. Let's go back to the top of the list, though, and Robert, down under, you probably understand that we're about to have our major elections here in the United States, of course, and I'm sure that you probably take care of your civic duty down in Australia. So VK2DY, and we're also asking, who was your mentor that got you into amateur radio and why? VK2DY from KE0VH. Good evening, Robert. So we'll hear from Robert down in Australia here.
Good afternoon. This is Robert, Victor Kilo 2, Delta Yankee, in northwestern Sydney, where it's just 23 degrees Celsius, 73 Fahrenheit. And the sun is shining. Well, actually, I do have American citizenship. I'm dual citizen in Australia and America. I can vote in both countries. In America, because I'm not a state resident, I can only vote in the federal elections. So I got a ballot from the state of Wisconsin that had 3 offices on it, and that was it. So for senator, congressman, and president, that was it. So that's what I voted in, and I voted, I keep up my civic duty in America and Australia. I voted in every election in Australia and every election in America. So I definitely do my civic duty here. As far as a mentor, well, my father was really sort of my mentor, but my real mentor was a fellow who's now Silent Key, Don Vander Elden. He was W9. LYE, love your enemy, K9 LYE. And he got me through all the exams there and everything else there. And he was a real true friend and mentor, and I miss him to this day. So, I really appreciate everything he did for me, and I try to do ham radio in his honor. VK2GY, back to now.
All right, Robert, very good. I did not realize that you carry dual citizenship. That's very good. Good for you, man, and good job. I really appreciate that. that you do that. And it's neat to hear everybody's stories tonight. By the way, I want to say hi to Daniel. KF0FDF has checked into the net. So, Daniel, hello. And one of my other young YouTube buddies is in there, too, the pilot, Grayson. Says been busy with school, and yeah, buddy, you take care of that school stuff. That's the most important. Let's see, Randall, AE7RJ. I'll go ahead and log you in, and Randall, let me go ahead and call you direct. I'll get to you other guys here in just a minute. Stand by. Let me see if I can go ahead and pull Randall in direct. Randall, go ahead and try to jump in there from Spokane. AE7RJ from K0VH coming to you direct.
Good evening, Jack, and everyone else on the net. I had a hard time getting in earlier, so this is why he's called on me now. Oh, why do we vote? Well, it's because this is the only way that our dipstick politicians know what it is we want. You can try to contact them, but, they don't answer the phone, they don't answer your mail. If you vote them out of office, though, they get that. So, there we are. Oh, I didn't have any kind of an Elmer guy when I was first studying for a license. I took my novice and then my technician at the same time. And I did have an Elmer guy helping me with Morse code, so that I could get my general back in those days. And then I had a guy helping me as I studied for technician. No, studied for extra. And so he helped me with that. The thing that started me off on all of this was I just happened to hear some guy some guy at work say something about no-code tech. And got my attention because Morse code is a struggle for me, and I just couldn't get it done. So I finally did get it done, but it just 5 words a minute was full speed for me. So anyway, there we are. And I think that's it. Y'all have a good evening. This is AE7RJ.
Randall, I got to tell you a little story. I had root canals in one tooth done this morning. Thank God for ibuprofen. But I had root canals done in four, man. 1, 2, 3, 4 in one tooth this morning. And I would, you're spread out, your mouth is spread open there, propped open, and they've got this umbrella in your mouth to kind of shield everything from what they're doing there. And I kept thinking that, man, I wish this guy knew Morse code because I had a million questions for him. I am a 13-word per minute extra. I did not have to do the 20-word per minute test, but I did do a 13-word per minute test for my general back then. Then, of course, they did away with the code requirement. But I thought that was funny today. It's like I want to ask him questions, but like that. You guys can see it on the YouTube channel. Probably didn't want to see that, and just couldn't talk. Too funny. Let's see. Next on the list. Let's see. I can't remember if KC0WRX. KC0WRX, are you there? Your comments for the net tonight. Good evening from K0VH. Okay, I think Christine said that she was in and out. Let me see if Ron has any comments up there. And Hayden, listening on the Steamboat repeaters. Ron, good evening. KG0REK, or were you in and out too? Let's see if you're there. Go ahead. This is K0VH.
HKG0REK, Kilo Golf 0, Romeo Echo Kilo, Hayden, Colorado. I got started in the 50s, interested in radio, by reading Popular Electronics and Electronics Illustrated. Then in '62, I had a shack set up, ready to go, a 40-meter dipole, a little 75-watt AM transmitter, an old Helicrafters SX699. The SX99 is a good receiver. And got me into radio, and all of a sudden I was in high school, and I couldn't get through the code. So I dropped out, and basically in '65 I got a commercial license, and joined a radio station as chief engineers for a number of years. Got a chance to play with the world's only wind-powered radio station in Oak Creek, Colorado. But yeah, just a couple of magazines, Popular Electronics and Electronics Illustrated, got me going, and I am finally got a ham ticket just less than a year ago, and I'm happy to say that I now have a brand new 40-foot tower at my home, and I'm really tickled with it. KG0REK, back to net.
Yeah, okay, Ron. Well, thanks for being up there. Appreciate you checking in from the Hayden area, and good to hear you on the Steamboat repeater up there. Appreciate that. Glad that they're going to get that back into operation for us up there on Sunshine Peak. And Tom, yeah, sorry, says sorry for your pain in the YouTube chat there. Yeah, fortunately, I think my mind is elsewhere right now. And like I said, a little ibuprofen has gone a long way this evening. Man, I didn't even feel like flight simming tonight. And I got here. Let me show you guys. At least show you guys on YouTube anyway. I got the new Boeing yoke there, and of course I have the throttle quadrant over there with the Boeing handles and everything. But man, I haven't even felt like getting on the flight simulator tonight. And you know that I feel probably pretty rough if I'm not feeling like getting on the flight simulator there. But it'll pass. It's like the Zen laxative. All things must pass, right? Okay, there you go. Let's see. I think that brings me to the end of that list. Let's take another round of check-ins on, Daniel, KF0FDF Daniel in Thornton. Daniel, I saw that you checked in via the chat window there on YouTube. But do you have a radio? Do you want to jump in and give us your opinion on why we should vote and care about it? And tell us who your mentor was to get you into amateur radio. KF0FDF from K0VH. Go ahead, Daniel, if you're there. And we'll see if Daniel's there. Okay, maybe. Oh, something popped up there for a second. Something trying to get there. Okay, maybe not. All right, then. Okay, Daniel, I'm not sure if you tried to get in there or not, but couldn't get you in. All right, this is the SkyHublink Monday Night System-Wide Net. Jack, KE0VH here. We're simulcasting the net tonight on my YouTube channel. Captain Jack, FLT SIM, CAPN JACK FLT SIM. And, okay, Daniel, do you want to try to get in via radio again? Says he's got delay on YouTube. Do you want to try to give us your comments for the net tonight on the radio? Thought you might be listening there, too. KF0FDF from K0VH. Okay. I guess Daniel is not in by radio. All right, let's get another round of check-ins here. Any place, anywhere, any mode. Let's go ahead and get you checked into the net tonight. Please call with your call sign and only your call sign phonetically twice. So let's get you checked in tonight, analog, digital, or otherwise. Call now with your call sign phonetically twice. This is KE0VH.
This is Whiskey 4 Mike Alpha Fox. Whiskey 4 Mike Alpha Fox.
Okay, W4MAF. Got him on there. Okay, that KI6, I could not pull out the rest of his call. We'll try that again here in just a moment.
Kilo Foxtrot 8 Bravo Sierra November. Kilo Foxtrot 8 Bravo Sierra November.
Okay, he's got a good signal in here. That's good.
Kilo 5 Delta Juliet Sierra. Kilo 5 Delta Juliet Sierra.
Okay, K5 Delta Juliet Sierra. That's in there.
Kilo, Golf, Elijah.
Oh, right on. Golf, Kilo Golf. That's our young friend Elijah.
Juliet 5, India Foxtrot Lima, Kilo Juliet 5, India Foxtrot Lima.
Okay, Kilo Juliet 5, India Foxtrot Lima. All right. And then there's K.
55 Bravo Echo Uniform.
All right, W5 Bravo Echo Uniform. There's KF0OVL in the
Kilo
chat.
Lima 0 Romeo Golf Casino, please.
Okay, he needs to give his call sign twice. All right, I'll go ahead and pick up there. That last station, then I'll go back through the list and tell you who I heard. That last station, can you give me your call sign one more time phonetically? Twice phonetically, please remember. This is K0VH. Go ahead. Okay. All right, I guess we'll go with that. Okay, let me tell you who I heard and who I was able to copy. A Whiskey 4 Mike Alpha Foxtrot. There was a Kilo India 6 in there, but I could not get all of your call. I'll come right back to you and we'll try to pick that up. Kilo Foxtrot 8 Bravo Sierra November. Kilo 5 Delta Juliet Sierra. Kilo 7 Golf Kilo Golf Elijah out in Salt Lake City. Elijah, welcome. Glad to have you here tonight. Let's see, there's KF0OVL, KJ5IFL, and W5 Bravo Echo Uniform. Before I go back to the top of the list, let me try to pick up the Kilo India 6 station again. The Kilo India 6 station, will you come back with your call sign phonetically twice? And we'll see if he comes back here. Okay. We're not going to get him then. Okay, guys, remember, especially those of you who may be on the fringe of your repeater, I need your call sign slowly and phonetically twice. So the Kilo India 6, please come back one more time. Let's see if we get it here. Let's see who's ahead. 17-10, Ravens are leading the Bucks, third quarter. Okay, I guess not. Okay, I guess not. We'll go back to the top of the list and talk to Mike in Richmond, Virginia. W4 Mike Alpha Foxtrot. Mike, welcome to the SkyHubLink.com repeater linking system Monday Night Net. This is Jack, KE0VH in Wheat Ridge, Colorado. Once again, we're simulcasting the net tonight on my YouTube channel, CAPN for Captain Jack. FLTSIM simulcasting there on my YouTube channel. But welcome to the net. We're talking tonight about why we feel individually that it's important that we vote. We're not getting political, not going to do that, but we're talking about why we feel individually that it's important to vote and what it means to us, and who was our mentor, who was the original person that helped us and encouraged us to get into amateur radio. So, Mike, go ahead. Welcome to the net. Welcome out there in Virginia from KE0VH. Good evening. All right, let's see if Mike gives us some good
Hey,
words
Captain
there.
Jack, W4MAF here in Richmond, and good topics for tonight. I've got to say, I've got to steal the first one. from you for our Virginia C4FM net Saturday night. I like that topic. Yeah, I believe you need to vote because your voice must be heard one way or the other. And I believe the way you do that is through our system of voting. So get out there and vote. Let your vote count. Hopefully it counts the way we're anticipating. And then, man, I really like the second topic as well. At first I was like, well, I don't have an Elmer. And that's how it was positioned. But yeah, I got to say, I've got to credit, like yourself, Jack. I'm a radio broadcaster. And there was an announcer at the radio station I currently work at, N4SPY. He first really gave a big push for amateur radio after I told him I brought my son to college in Ohio and back to Virginia. And I was telling my son how many people there were monitoring the radio frequencies. And I was thinking Citizens Band. And it was kind of like I inspired myself, and the rest is history. I got my license 2 weeks after. And yeah, the rest is history. But I've got to credit another great guy, WD30, David, who really took it to the next level. So, and for SPY, he ended up being my sugar daddy in ham radio. He provided me with a number of radios, getting me into the hobby. And then WD30 helped out by getting me integrated with the club and actually testing for licensing. And launching antennas into the trees. So I credit both of those guys very much. So good net tonight. Good to hear Randall on and everyone else. This is W4MAF. Back to net.
All right, Mike. Very good. Very good. Appreciate you being out there in West Virginia, in Falling Waters, West Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. You're in Richmond. You're not too far away from my buddy Owls FS for flight simulation. He's in the YouTube chat. So Owls, hello. You're saying, you've got that call sign just a little illegal there, my friend, doing a little bit there, but there you go. And then my good buddy Yoham up in Canada, Isaac Johnson, who's also a pilot, checking in on the YouTube channel in the chat. Guys, salute. Great to see you. Appreciate you checking in and listening to what we do in amateur radio. We talk to people all over the world and really appreciate it. Isaac, you understand 4x5. There you go. There you go. Well, great, guys. Thanks for checking in there in the YouTube stream. Sure appreciate that. Guys, all of you watching the YouTube chat and everything, click on these guys' icons and go over to their YouTube channel and see what they're all about. I appreciate that. Mike, great to hear you up there. So next I'm going to go to Radio Wise in West Virginia. Kilo Foxtrot 8, Bravo Sierra November, Justin. Justin in, Falling Waters, West Virginia. Justin, welcome to the net. We're asking the question tonight, why is it important to you that you have the opportunity to vote? Isaac said, would have called you if I was in a Cessna. You'd have to be equipped with amateur radio there, Isaac, but there you go. Appreciate that. Let's see. Justin in Falling Waters, West Virginia, it's your turn. Welcome to the net from K0VH. By the way, Alada is in the YouTube chat, too. Thanks for being there, guys. Appreciate it. Let me go ahead and pick up Justin. Justin, go ahead. KE0VH. Yeah, I appreciate you guys showing up in YouTube there. It's nice. I applaud. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys.
KE0VH, this is KF8BSN. Happy to be here. Happened to stumble across this net and NetLogger as I was seeing what was up and running, and happened to tune in on my radio and find out that you're simulcasting this on YouTube. So I'll go ahead and shamelessly say hello to everyone in the YouTube chat. Pleasure to be here. Oh, why is voting important to me? Well, I was raised in Nashville, Tennessee, and I come from a very patriotic family, and that's always been what we consider a civic duty. After all, if you don't vote, the politicians don't know what you need or want. So it's a very important thing, and it's kind of what makes America America. And I believe there was a question earlier than that about what got you started in amateur radio. And for me, I would say my first exposure was with my grandfather way back when I was a small child. I was about knee-high to a grasshopper, and he was on the old CB. Then took a long break, and only recently I got into amateur radio, and it's all because I picked up a little HT so I can listen to air traffic control as I was traveling through airports. That led to GMRS, which led to amateur radio, which led me to have my amateur extra. So been a slippery slope, so to speak. Other than that, nothing else really from me. This is KFA.
Hey, Owls, I'll clear you to 10,000 feet. Go ahead.
Net control.
Okay, man, Justin, thanks for being here tonight. That is so fun that you found the net here and what we do. Be sure to check out our website, guys, SkyHubLink.com. SkyHubLink.com. Those of you in the YouTube chat can see that there's a bunch of flight sim conversation going on there. That's pretty good. Also, my buddy Redneck shows up there. Let's see. He's in southern Indiana. He says, if I was at my pap's house, I would call you up, put up a 40-foot tower in his backyard for this. He has Morse code UHF and has even contacted the ISS. Yes, indeed, that is something you can do with amateur radio there, Redneck. And Justin, thanks so much for being there in Falling Waters, West Virginia. Let's go to Danny in Toletta, Texas, Kilo 5 Delta Juliet Sierra. Welcome to the SkyHubLink Monday night system-wide ham radio net. And we're also simulcasting on YouTube there. Danny, what are your comments for the net tonight? Thanks for being in here tonight. This is K0VH. Go ahead, Danny in Texas. You guys are having fun, aren't you? Yeah, there you go. That's pretty funny. Big forehead, negative. You guys are.
Zulu Sierra 6, Golf, Charlie Alpha, Zanzibar Spain 6, Golf, Charlie Alpha, from Pretoria, South Africa, over.
Oh, okay. South Africa's in there. Okay, I did copy Zulu, Sierra 6, Golf, Charlie, Alpha. I'll get you on the list here, and we'll come to you in just a minute. Okay, Danny down in Toletta, Texas isn't going to make it, it looks like. Elijah in Salt Lake City. Good evening, Elijah. Kilo 7, Golf, Kilo Golf. Welcome. Elijah, you're a young man. I guess down the line you're going to get registered to vote and all that, but tell us about your experiences, what you feel about that and why it's important. And then how did you get into amateur radio there? Our good buddy Elijah, who runs our Salt Lake City SkyHubLink repeater. How are you, Elijah? Welcome to the net. Your comments now from K0VH.
It's the K7GPG. I don't know what to say because I'm not old enough to vote. But I mean, if you don't get if you don't vote, then you don't get to pick what you want to happen here around the country. But on the topic of who got me into amateur radio, I kind of have to thank Skylar W0SKY for having the weird YouTube channel pop-ups that pop up literally all over the place as one showing up and torturing a bell fake, and that got me into wanting to do it, and here I am. One repeater in Tooele, which is SkyHub's repeater. One here at home, which I'm operating on. One going up on Lake Mountain, a CMR repeater. Just a little bit of budget, not too much. Not old enough to work a job. No, nothing. But here I am, $1,000 down, only writing waterwells and stuff. So I have to thank Skylar for that. PK7. GKG, Elijah, Salt Lake.
Okay, Elijah, very good, buddy, very good. Well, I appreciate that. And yes, Skylar is one of the best, W0SKY, and so glad that you guys were able to meet and get together there and get that going and get you doing the things that you're doing in amateur radio. It's very good. Thanks so much, Elijah, for running the repeaters out there. And we'll keep working on stuff and make it even better Really appreciate that. Let's see, a lot of guys showing up in the chat there on YouTube. Appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up button for me if you would. This is the SkyHublink Monday Night System-Wide Net. Jack, K0VH, and Wheat Ridge, Colorado Net Control. And we're talking about why it's important to us to vote. And you heard young Elijah there. He'll get there one day, and he's already starting to recognize some of the importance of our civic duty when it comes down to that. And I don't care to talk about who we want to vote for or what we want to vote for or any of that. That's not the important thing. The important thing is that we do. So make an informed and good decision based on what you think that you want and what you think is best. That's the most important message that we can get out tonight. But please, I am going to encourage you and use the Ham Radio Forum for that to encourage you to vote. Very important. Let's talk to, let's see, Kenneth in Longmont, KF0OVL. I think you checked in the YouTube window there, Kenneth. May have picked you up on air, but welcome. Go ahead and your comments for the net tonight. Diddley Mike in the YouTube chat, too. Appreciate you being here, man. Go ahead and pick it up there, Kenneth, in Longmont, KF0OVL from K0VH. Good evening. Okay, is he going to be there? See, all you guys that do the flight simming stuff with us on YouTube, you get to see my other life as a ham radio operator. So there you go. Okay, he must not be there. All right, Kenneth may not have been able to stay around. Let's see if Josh in Wilburton, Oklahoma, Kilo Juliet 5, India Foxtrot Lima is there. Hello, big boy in the chat there, too, in YouTube. But let's see, this is a great forum to introduce other guys to amateur radio. I really appreciate you guys stopping by tonight. Josh in Wilburton, Oklahoma, you're next. Kilo Juliet 5, India Fox Lima from K0VH. Welcome to the net.
Well, thanks for welcome to the net. Wilburton, Oklahoma. Voting is a civic duty. If you live in the United States, definitely need to vote. And I guess I got into ham radio, not really ham radio, but about 25 years ago. I was civil defense and running fire department, stuff like that. And I got really interested in the radios then. And my dad's always been into the radios, so he's a truck driver for CBs, all that jazz. And then finally he got into the ham radio, and he just started telling me about the ham radio stuff. And really, he would be the guy that kind of got me into it. And I've had a blast ever since. I'm brand new to it. Just got my actually early this month. So it's great. I'm having a blast meeting new people, and obviously this net, a lot of fun. AJ5I.
Oh man, well it's great to have you in here. Thanks for jumping in, Josh. Good to get to welcome you. Be sure to check out our website about the repeater linking system, SkyHublink, all one word, SkyHublink.com. And you'll see everything it's about. There's great groups of people on here. We've got great nets. For instance, tomorrow night here at 7 o'clock, the Colorado Astronomy Net will be there. And Bernice does a great job presenting an awful lot of great astronomy information. Going to look forward to see what he's saying about the comet and everything else that'll be happening then. The Rocket Report, we've got our daily weather net on at 1 o'clock. A lot of great stuff on the SkyHublink.com repeater linking system. And Josh, wonderful to get to welcome you here tonight. Let's see. Let me go to Glenn in Allen, Texas, W5 Bravo Echo Uniform, W5 BEU. Glenn in Allen, Texas. Welcome to the net. Your comments for the SkyHublink Monday Night System-Wide Net from K0VH. Go ahead. Hey, CST, wonderful to have you stop back in here. JD Aviation, appreciate you being here. I'm trying to recognize everybody. Ben and
Captain
Phil.
Jack and everyone on the net.
Yes, indeed.
From Allen, Texas, about 20 minutes north of DFW area. As far as the voting topic, I'll say everybody probably wants to make sure that their interests that they have for their families and themselves are best represented through the vote. So that's why it's important to get out and vote and make sure that you make your positions heard, and hopefully your elected officials can take that into consideration as they move forward with legislation that will hopefully help you and your family out. I started out 15 years old as a disc jockey for a country and western radio station there in Levelland, Texas.
Wish I could get that
and
focus.
Was around a lot of different people in electronics at the time, but mostly my grandfather, Doyle. He was amateur radio operator. Got his license in 1933, and he's a silent key now, but I have adopted that call sign, and have now
Diddley
become
Mike,
Whiskey
you're in
5
Allen,
Bravo Echo
Texas?
uniform.
Man, far out, man.
Jack, thanks for running the net. KE0 Victor Hotel and the net. Whiskey 5 Bravo Echo uniform.
Well, Glenn, that's really great. That's really great. You were a disc jockey as well. I was a disc jockey from the time I was 16 until literally about 12 years ago, when I started working full time as an engineer for K-Love Radio, and that's really neat to have somebody with some of the same history there as that. Yeah, once again, a guy named Alan, WA4QCH, he was a big CBer, and he got me into CB radio, and shortwave listening and everything else that I did at the time got me even further into CB. And then finally, Alan changed over to ham radio and kind of took me with him, and that's how I got started. Wonderful, fond memories of working in radio in my hometown of Chattanooga, Tennessee originally. And, just had such a great time. Radio's always been part of my life, and have just had so much fun with it. So anyway, great to have you here tonight. Thanks for finding SkyHublink, and hopefully you'll get on here for Common every day, Glenn. And by the way, we've got somebody in the chat who says that they are from Allen, Texas, one of our flight sim guys who are in the YouTube chat there. If you get a chance to check that out. This is the SkyHublink Monday Night System-Wide Net. Jack, KE0VH. We're going to take one more round of check-ins by radio. Let's see some of the guys. Cockpit Lizards, that's interesting. That's a good one. Welcome. Glad to have you in here tonight, sir. Floaty Tony is in the YouTube chat. Also, Jason AC. Oh, Jason, hey. Let's see. Jason, do you want to try to go ahead and check in by radio? Let me leave a space for you here if you do. KC4ACQ. Go ahead if you want to try to check in via radio, via your link there. Go ahead, Jason, K0VH. Let's see if he checks in by radio here.
Yeah, Kilo Delta 4, Alpha
Okay,
Charlie Golf. Kilo Delta 4, Alpha Charlie Golf.
Okay, yeah, Jason, your DMR link is working. I would remind you that DMR is about 15 to 20% hotter than the other audio, so you might want to back off your mic a little bit. Go ahead and get you at the top of this next check-in list here, and we'll make this the last check-in list of the night, guys. So once again, if you're watching on the YouTube channel, sure would appreciate you hitting that thumbs up button for me. I see 27 likes. That's pretty cool. Appreciate it. Thanks for being in there and doing that for me. A few more would be most welcome. I appreciate it. If you'd like to check in via radio here on the SkyHublink Monday Night System-Wide Net, let's go ahead and get you in by radio, any place, anywhere, any mode. Your call sign and only your call sign phonetically twice. Please call now. This is KE0VH.
Whiskey, November 7, Alpha, November Tango. Whiskey, November 7, Alpha, November Tango.
Okay, WN7, ANT.
Kilo Charlie 4, Zulu, Yankee, Charlie. Kilo Charlie 4, Zulu, Yankee, Charlie.
Okay, we have
Kilo India 5, Kilo Golf Charlie. Kilo India 5, Kilo Golf Charlie.
Okay, KI5, KGC. Got that one?
Alpha India 7 Oscar Foxtrot. Alpha India 7 Oscar Foxtrot.
There's my buddy Jay up in Laramie, Wyoming. No, it's very
Kilo
cool.
Juliet 5, Alpha Tango Alpha, Kilo Juliet 5. KJ5 ATA.
Okay, KJ5 ATA. Boy, I just barely got him in there. Okay. All right, then. Let me tell you who I was able to pick out of that group. Kilo Delta 4 Alpha Charlie Golf, Whiskey November 7 Alpha November Tango, Kilo Charlie 4 Zulu Yankee Charlie. Hey, Howard, you made it in. Let's see, KI5 Kilo Golf Charlie, AI7OF. Hey, Jay up in Laramie, glad you made it in, buddy. And KJ5 ATA. Now, there was a crash of a couple of you in there as well. Let me see if I can pick you out. And those, if I didn't call your call sign, go ahead and try it one more time for me. This is K0VH. All right, let's see if I can pick these out of here.
Try the copy. KCA-FQV at King Charles 8, Fox Queen Victor.
Okay. All right, we'll go one more there. Let's see, Kilo Charlie 8, Fox Queen Victor. Okay, Mark in Aurora, Ohio, I got you. So the other station, come back with your call sign phonetically twice, please. Let's see if I can get that last station there. KJ5IFL. Josh is in the chat. Very good. Josh, welcome. Glad you could make it into the YouTube chat. Okay, nobody there. All right, we'll go ahead and pick these up.
I don't know if I'm getting through. It's KJ5 AT Tango Alpha. Come back.
Yeah, KJ5 Alpha Tango Alpha. Yes, I've got you in there. All right, let's go back to the top of the list. By the way, you can look at NetLogger and the SkyHublink system-wide net, and you can see where you are on the list there. So let's go back and talk to my buddy Jason. Jason, are you down in Florida? And I'm wondering how you did with the last storm. I was kind of worried about you and Howard down there, so I'm really, really glad that you were able to make it. So how you doing, man? And why is voting important to you? Why is it important to you? We're not talking politics, but we're talking about why it's important to us individually. So KD4ACG, KE0VH. Hey, buddy, welcome to the net. All right, good deal.
Hey, Jack, good evening to you and everybody on the net. And I'll try to compensate for the fact I'm on DMR here, KD4ACG from Great Falls, Montana, this week on business on a local DMR repeater up here. We did okay with the hurricanes, better than a lot of people around us. Thankfully for me, it was nothing more than a rake, a stiff broom, and some trash bags couldn't fix. No damage to the house, only about 13 hours of outage. So all in all, not too bad, but there was definitely flooding and some more significant damage a little further away from me. Let me unkey and reset because I have this radio on a 1-minute timeout. And thanks for your concern, by the way. Voting. Well, yeah, it's really important. It is definitely the opportunity that we have for our voices to be heard. That doesn't necessarily mean somebody's listening, but at least we are making our voice heard.
Yeah.
And we'll see what
hey,
happens.
Beanie
here
Baby
in the
Prod. I'll explain in a minute, but we're doing a ham radio net.
How I got into the hobby.
Net.
Yeah, I did. It was a combination of a couple of us
Thanks
who
for
were
being
about
here.
the same age that got into the hobby about the same time from CB and Scanner listening. And also an Elmer that still friends with to this day. Checks in on this net on occasion. You might hear Gary in 9VU. I've known him for 30-something years, and I'm returning the favor now by teaching him what I know about the digital mode. So comes around full circle. Good to hear you guys on the net, and we'll talk to you maybe next week. I'll be in Memphis.
Whoop. He He dropped out there.
Almost timed out again. We'll talk to you from there next week. 7-3, have a great night. KD4ACG.
Yeah, okay, Jason, I'm really glad that you didn't have any more than that happen because, like I said, I was kind of worried about you and Howard down there in Florida. And we also have a couple of real good friends in our YouTube flight sim community, Dear Old Dad and Gray Eagle down there lived in Florida. And I haven't heard back from Gray Eagle. I know Dear Old Dad did okay. Those of you who are flight simmers in the YouTube chat, you'll know who I'm talking about. But yeah, glad you're all right, man. All right, let's go ahead and pick up Everett and Aurora. Everett, we're talking tonight about why voting is important to us individually, not politics once again, but why is voting important to you? And who was your Elmer? Who got you started? Who got you interested in amateur radios? So let's see what you've got to say, Everett and Aurora, Colorado. Welcome to the net from KE0VH.
This is Whiskey, November 7, Alpha November Tango. I'm going to start with the Elmer question first. Regrettably, I don't remember his name. And the reason is, I was 12 years old. It was a science club meeting in junior high school where we had an older gentleman come in, and it was my first exposure to amateur radio.
Wow, that's cool.
Came in and did an HF, demonstrated some HF. Let's see, it was Morse code, and then he pulled out some VHF radios and showed us that there were people to talk to locally. And we talked about radios and basic radio theory, radio propagation. It was, hour and a half club meeting. So we covered a lot of stuff. And
hey, Tom, in the YouTube chat, thanks for being here. W7, WY7KY, thanks for being here, man. Appreciate it.
Before I became an
no copyrights here, Beanie Baby. No copyrights here.
I was in the military, and I had a group of Elmers, the Sun City Amateur.
It's only half a game, so it doesn't matter.
It helped me get my ticket. But if it wasn't for that first gentleman that I can't remember the name of, in Utah during a science club meeting, I would not have ever probably been exposed to amateur radio. I'm going to let the repeater reset. As far as the question on voting, I think voting is important because, as everybody else here has said, you make your voice heard. It gives you an opportunity to say what is important to you. It gives you the opportunity to express yourself. And like I said, I'm ex-military. I stood on a wall and swore that I would defend that right with my life. I take it very seriously. I haven't missed an opportunity to vote since I was 18 years old. I mean, as soon as I was able to vote, I was out voting. And I've listened to people say, don't waste your time. It doesn't matter. Yeah, actually it does. If it didn't matter, candidates wouldn't spend so much time trying to convince you in how to use your vote. So I am of the opinion it matters, and it's important. This is Whiskey November 7, Alpha November Tango. Back to the net.
Yeah, I got to tell you, Everett, I agree with you absolutely 150 million%, because, yeah, what if a million people who say my vote don't count don't vote? Well, then, it's a big deal. Every vote counts, and it's very important that we care about it ourselves. And no matter who we want to vote for, no matter what party, no matter what the deal is with that, it's very important that we cast that vote and execute that. Absolutely. Good. Well said, Everett. Let's talk to Howard down in Orlando. Kilo Charlie 4 Zulu Yankee Charlie. Hey, Howard, how are you, my friend? How did you fare during Hurricane Milton, especially down there in the Orlando area? I know that there were a lot of winds and everything. We had I hate to say it, but we had a little fun with the hurricanes in the flight sim community. We basically flew into them. If you go back and check, what was it, a week and a half or so ago when Milton came through, I did a live stream talking about it. We also promoted the relief agencies that were going to be involved helping people out. So well worthwhile in that regard. But what do you think there, Howard? And what about voting and your mentor into amateur radio and all that kind of good stuff? Kilo Charlie 4 Zulu Yankee Charlie from K0VH. Welcome to the net. And once again, all you guys in YouTube, sure appreciate you being there. If you drop a like in there, I would appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Fine, and watching you on the YouTube channel. I've got to pause right now, so I'm not watching you live. Otherwise, there'd be either an echo or delay. I evacuated on Wednesday before the storm hit. Not Wednesday last week, but the week before, and went up to Tallahassee to spend time with my aunt. And she was concerned about the storm, and I hadn't seen her in a while. So she said, "Hey, come on up, visit, and at least it'll be out of the path of the storm." So I made the conscious decision. They got all packed up and headed up there to do just that. And on the way up there, this was very windy and rainy, and kept hearing alerts for tornadoes. I mean, there's so many different tornado warnings out that day. It was just absolutely unbelievable. Let me go ahead and reset. Was it YC? And I was kind of concerned about some friends of mine who live down in Port St. Lucie, not too far away from Fort Pierce, because a tornado went through a senior community in Fort Pierce, and did a lot of damage. Unfortunately, some people lost their lives, but thank God my friends who are elderly were not affected. It did get pretty nasty down there, but fortunately they were not affected. Me, I spent Wednesday through Saturday, a couple weeks ago, up in Tallahassee, and had a great time. And it was fun to spend time with my aunt and watch the storm unfold on TV up there. And yeah, I think we did get some flooding here and there, but nothing really major where my apartment is. And when I came back on Saturday, after the storm had come through, there was very little, if any, damage. There was just a palm tree with the top of it knocked off, and I could tell that the power had been out because when I came to the door, I noticed that the clocks on my microwave and stove were flashing, but everything in the refrigerator was okay, so came through unscathed. Very happy about that. So let me pause and reset here. KC40YC. Well, let's see. Yes, it is. I think it's very, very, very important to vote because it gives you not only a choice, but also gives you a voice in terms of what's going on and how you think about certain issues. You can, and people that say your vote doesn't count, well, think again, because actually it does. Your vote, believe it or not, could actually tip the balance of power in certain issues, believe it or not. And, if you don't vote, then you may not be able to get the chance to, tip the balance of power in your favor. Let's see. The other question has to do with who got me started in amateur radio. A gentleman by the name of Bill Newkirk. He is a silent key, Whiskey Bravo 9, India, Victor, Romeo, WV9IVR. And also my mom, who unfortunately is a silent key due to cancer. But both of them were pretty instrumental in helping me decide to get involved in amateur radio. And my brother got into it in the early 1980s, and Bill was his Elmer. And in the early 90s, my mother convinced me to get my amateur radio license. At the time, Bill was teaching amateur radio classes at the local junior high school, so I figured, well, what do I got to lose? Why not? And shortly after I took the course in the, I think it was 1992, 1993, somewhere in that time frame, got my driver's license, and been a ham ever since. It's been a very interesting ride, and seen a lot of changes in amateur radio. some of them very positive, like visual modes here, which I'm using right now via my hotspot. Jack, thanks for hosting that. It looked great on the stream there. KE0VH, KC4 is what I say.
Yeah, okay, Howard. Thank you very much for being here tonight. Appreciate you, as always, getting into the net. Good to hear from you and Jason about what happened in Florida there, and really appreciate all of your kind words there. Thanks, buddy. We'll look for you on the next one. All right, let's go to Amarillo, Texas, and talk to Rod, KI5 Kilo Golf Charlie. Welcome to the net, Rod, and your questions or comments, your comments for the net more so. Good evening. From K0VH, go ahead. Yeah, thanks for being here, Howard. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Next show is KI5 KGC. Good to hear everyone on here. This is my first time on here. And I'm connecting to you through an app on my phone for Echo Week. Anyway, so what got me involved? Well, let's start with the voting thing. So I believe it's very important to vote. My dad was a World War II vet, and he always said, I fought for your right to vote, so you better get out there and vote first of all. So out of respect for my dad, I always go vote. I've never missed the time to go vote. But I'd also recommend that not only do you guys go vote to make your voice heard, that reach your local representatives. If you know who your local representatives are, there's always town hall meetings. There's some kind of forum where you can go and talk to them. And it's always good to get.
Oh, dropped out there. Okay, let's see. Rod, are you still there? You dropped out. If you want to come back and finish up, go ahead. This is KE0VH. Okay, one more time. Kilo India 5 Kilo Golf Charlie. Rod, are you still there in Amarillo from K0VH? All right, let's go ahead and go to next on the list is my buddy Jay up in Laramie, Wyoming. Jay, so glad you dropped in tonight. AI70F. We're talking about why it's important to us individually to vote. And who are Elmer, who mentored us getting into amateur radio. Jay, go ahead and welcome to the net. AI70F from KE0VH.
Yeah, thank you, Jack. Thanks everybody on the net and everyone watching on the internet. To the first question, I would say, being in Wyoming and Laramie, my federal vote doesn't, there's only so much I can do with my free little electoral vote. So I don't worry about that much, or that part that much. But the other thing is, the ballot is, you're not voting for one person, you're voting for the entire ballot. I'm much more concerned about who my city council is, or who my county commissioners are. There's only 3 county commissioners in Albany County. We only have the 1 sheriff. I'm much more concerned about those people. That, but those votes definitely count way more. And on the order of my Elmer, I don't have a traditional Elmer. I watched ham radio crash course videos a bunch because I was just radio curious. And then I went to a hacker conference called DEF CON, whereby they had a proper verified examiner. You show up, take the test. I passed all 3 in a row, and I'm a ham radio operator now. And with that said, I will send it back to Net. This is AI70F.
Hey, very good, Jay. Very good. Absolutely. Absolutely. So many things you said there. Voting for our local elections is so important. It truly is. You can vote for the president, you can vote for the state senate, you can vote for the House, you can vote for all that and the other. But, we got to remember the local people are certainly very important and need to remember, let's vote our conscience. Let's vote who we think we want to be able to do the best job and care about the people. Caring about the people is so important to me. And good job. Good job. Well said. Thanks, my friend. I'll look forward to maybe catching you on the radio in the morning. Hey, I got to go to Pilot Hill tomorrow, Jay, so we got to talk. I've got to go up there tomorrow to make some measurements. So I'll give you a call on the radio and or the phone in the morning. This is the SkyHublink Monday Night System-Wide Net. We're about getting ready to wrap it up here tonight, guys, but a couple of more thoughts and comments. Let's talk to Guy in Georgetown, Texas. Guy, Kilo Juliet 5 Alpha Tango Alpha. Alpha Tango Alpha. Let me get my syllables all syntax there. Guy, what you got for us tonight? Your comments for the net from K0VH. Welcome. Okay, we'll see if they're still here. Kind of a long set here. Okay. One more time for a Guy in Georgetown, Texas. Kilo Juliet 5 Alpha Tango Alpha from K0VH. Welcome to the net. Okay, Jay. Yep, I see there in the chat. You'll be listening. Yep, all right, very good. Yeah, I'm probably going to get started fairly early in the morning, too. Okay, well, with that, it's been a great net, guys. Let's go to Mark in Aurora, Ohio. Kilo Charlie 8 Fox Queen Victor. We'll let you have the last words tonight, Mark. Welcome to the SkyHublink Monday Night System-Wide Net. All right, we'll see if we had Mark stick
Hello,
around.
good
Yep,
evening,
there
Jack.
he is.
KSFTV. Yeah, I'll vote. Yeah. Yeah, as long as you vote, that's all that matters. And, I got in the ham radio. Well, the shop teacher had the radio equipment in the industrial art shop, Woods, when I was in the middle school. That's where I started. And, of course, I got into CBs first. So, and I wrote history in the 80s, I think it was like 94 when the FCC, because I could get, the theory was good, and I can't recall, it was, because one time you used to have to transmit and receive the 5 words per minute. And I can't recall it was the receive I was having an issue with or the transmit. And I think it might have been the receive. And when they went then, of course, no code, then we went back and got it. So everything else is going good here. So we'll send it back your way. Yeah, it's been a few weeks. You're going to say, Jesus, you have around a few weeks. And I know. I fell asleep, get tired at night. So that's what happens. But we're up today. So we'll send it back to Net Control, KC8FQV.
All right, Mark. Very good. Very good. Well, thanks for being here tonight, man. Sure appreciate it. Appreciate you checking in from Aurora, Ohio. We'll let you have the last word there. You are check-in number 29 on our net logger. And with that, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap the net up tonight. I will let you know that on Wednesday night's live flight stream, we're going to be flying a retro livery. We're going to have fun with a retro livery. Let me go ahead and put that up on the screen and show you this. We're going to be flying the 777 from Salt Lake City, which is where you see it parked. That's Farnsworth Mountain back in the background there. We're going to be flying from Salt Lake City to Vancouver in the retro Trans-American livery in the Boeing 777. So that'll be fun. That'll be Wednesday night's live stream here on the Captain Jack YouTube channel. So we'll look forward to that, and maybe you'll be able to join us for that. But in the meantime, we'll go ahead and wrap up the net tonight with 29 check-ins. Want to thank all of you for viewing on YouTube. Want to thank all of you who checked in via radio here on SkyHublink. Don't forget, skyhublink.com is our website. Be sure to check that out. And we want to thank Skylar W0SKY, our chief engineer. Jeremy W0JRL, our system engineer for the All-Star Hub Connections, Rocky Mountain Radio League, the Denver Water Amateur Radio Club, the Denver Radio League, the N2K&K Western Slope Repeater System, Randall AE7RJ, and all the other systems and operators here on SkyHublink. Hopefully we'll have Kat back before too long and get everything going once again with her. But she has been busy doing some POTA activities and so on and so forth. So we'll look forward to having Kat back down just a little bit later. And once again, check out all the details on the SkyHublink.com repeater linking system. So with that, we'll go ahead and we will return all systems and repeaters to normal amateur use. Thanks for being a part of the net tonight. Don't forget Bernice and the Colorado Astronomy Net tomorrow night at 7 o'clock here on the SkyHublink. And my live stream with Flight Sim will start at 6 o'clock on Wednesday evening. Once again, I'll be flying from Salt Lake to Vancouver in the Boeing 777. So with that, I want to thank all of you in the YouTube chat, and especially all of you who checked in by radio. So good to hear your voices tonight. And we'll look for you next time, guys. Once again, we'll return all systems to normal amateur use. 73, have a great night, and we'll see you next week. This is KE0VH. Good night.
Zulu